The impeachment inquiry into President Trump could actually be used as a strategy to get him reelected in 2020. That's according to Politico, which writes that Mr. Trump may play the victim card and that his campaign may use the impeachment inquiry to convince voters that the president is a powerless victim of politics. So for more on this, we're joined by Politico reporter Daniel Lippman. Could you write about this? So listen, Daniel, the president has complained before about presidential harassment. But you say, in a way, when you use the phrase playing the victim card, that this is more than the president yelling, stop picking on me. It's actually part of a strategy.
Yeah, I think they are trying to grasp for any strategy that might work. And what they've settled on is to say that the president is being victimized by powerful forces in the media, in the deep state, foreigners. And so they want to use this to basically say that this guy deserves a second term to kind of make up for some of the years that his presidency has been mucked up in scandal like the Mueller probe and now this impeachment inquiry.
So you write in the article, to the Trump team, it's the perfect opportunity to make Americans feel sorry for a president who has rarely pitied anyone but himself. The president has used this in the past. Has it been successful?
In some ways it has, by keeping his base pretty loyal and happy and jazzed up. But I think for the average voter, they are probably less likely to buy into this because either they don't like the president or they disagree with some of his rhetoric and how he's conducted himself in office. And they are not going to believe that the world's most powerful man is somehow this small little guy who is a victim. And President Trump himself, once he sees television coverage where he's portrayed as weak, then he might reverse strategies and not play the victim anymore and want to really fight back and really move away from this strategy. But so far, the call transcript is so bad that they really don't know exactly how to play that.
Yeah, when I was looking at the article, I thought two things about this strategy is, A, how do you win over swing voters by saying that you're a victim? And also, I thought, how does this have legs? How long can this go on before it just starts to seem like, a record on repeat?
Yeah, I think for the average swing voter, they care about health care and jobs and college tuition. They are less interested in just voting for a guy who feels sorry for himself. And so that is a tough hurdle for the Trump campaign to climb, but they've raised millions of dollars in the last week that they've been on the attack. They even, earlier this summer, they prepared a video compiling clips on impeachment so that they would be ready to go once Democrats pulled the trigger on that. And so they were kind of ready to go when Democrats found this scandal.
So it's been good for fundraising.
Yeah, although the number of Americans who support impeachment is climbed up to 45%, 47% in different polls, and so a slight more Americans support impeachment than don't support it. And then there's 15% that is still waiting on the facts and haven't made up their minds.
So then the question is, could this strategy of playing the victim card, and it could impeachment ultimately, maybe not impeachment, but the impeachment inquiry, all the things leading up to impeachment, could this actually work in President Trump's favor and in campaign 2020's favor?
I think it's too early to tell because we don't know exactly how many more shoes there are to drop. You already saw yesterday with a string of a trio of headlines with Pompeo was on the call. Bill Barr is traveling around the world to gather up intelligence for the anti-Mueller inquiry. And then Trump mentioned that, to the Australian Prime Minister on a phone call. And so if we see a daily drumbeat of more damaging revelation, then that might change things, and it might not work as well in the Senate if there's a vote.
You know, it is usually the president that is sort of leading the accusation of being victimized. You know, he's the one that calls it presidential harassment. But you're right. You know, he's not a guy that likes to look weak at all. So why do you think he sort of embraces the victim image while at the same time, you know, likes to tout his strength and influence?
I just don't think there are that many strategies that are out there that they can use.
Right.
And so remember, President Clinton, former First Lady Hillary Clinton, she said there was a vast right-wing conspiracy aligned against, and that kind of was. And there is a lot of efforts to try to dismount Trump or to take him down. And so he's not entirely wrong that the establishment is totally against him, although he's in control of part of the establishment in the federal government. But even there, they have people who are whistleblowers and people who are trying to change his policies and change his mind on stuff. And so he kind of feels like he is, he's always wondered why there's so many people in the White House, because that also leads more people to leak information.
All right, Daniel Lippman, thank you very much.
Thank you.